you really got to get into that context, that cultural context, to understand a lot of the nuances which are in the Bible, in the New Testament. And you need to also know the culture of the New Testament to explain some of the conflicts which were going on. The New Testament is what we call a Romaniote Jewish text. It's written in the language of the Romaniote Jews. Romaniote. It's the same word. It's just spelt in different ways depending on where you go. And although it looks like it's got something to do with Romania or Rome, a bit confusing. You might think that means they speak Latin. And no, they're not. They're actually the Greek-speaking Jews. The Jews who speak Greek are called Romaniote Jews, who were the Jews of the Greco-Roman Empire, meaning that they spoke Romaniote, which is actually Yavenit in Hebrew. It means Greek, or koine is the most famous word. It's known as koine Greek, koine. So this is the language of the Romaniote Jews. And the New Testament is written in Koine Greek. Also, the Septuagint was written in Koine Greek. Basically, Christianity grew out of this Romaniote Jewish group. It didn't grow out of Ashkenazi Judaism. It didn't grow out of Sephardic Judaism. It grew out of Romaniote Judaism. That's what Christianity grew out of. So Christians really should be interested in trying to embrace their sort of Romaniote Minhag. Minhag refers to the sort of cultural context that your Jewish sect belongs to. So there can be Ashkenazi Minhag, Sephardic Minhag. Ashkenazi is German Jewish Minhag or Yiddish Minhag. Sephardic Minhag is the Latino Minhag. Then you've got Taimani, which is the Yemeni Jews. They have different Minhag, and you've got Bombay Jews or Cochin Jews. They have their own Minhag, and of course you've got even they say Kaifeng Jews. I actually have a question over whether Kaifeng Jews should be considered Jews, or whether they should be considered an Edomite sect. That means a Christian or Messianic sect of Jews which existed in China a long time ago, Kaifeng Jews or Lan Mahui. So they also exist. They have their own Minhag. They're just almost still in existence. And then you've got of course Subotniks. They're descended originally from a kind of a sect, Sabbatean Jews. The Sabbatean sect comes from the Romaniote sect, so it's kind of a branch of the Romaniotes. So we've got plenty. Oh, we've got Flashers. I forgot to mention them. So the Flashers are kind of a Jewish sect they have their own Minhag from Ethiopia. And you've got the Lemba Jews, who are sub-Saharan African sect of Judaism. So there's plenty of different sects of Judaism, and of course there's the Bukharian Jews who have their own sect. They were generally assimilated by the Sephardic Jews. The Sephardic Jews went everywhere and tried to assimilate everybody. And I feel very uncomfortable that Sephardic Minhag sort of imposed itself upon the Romaniotes and upon the Sabbateans, so that we were all sort of tried to be, and also the Bukharians. So they tried to assimilate all of the Jews of the Mediterranean area across from Spain all the way to Tajikistan, and try to absorb them all into their own way. So there's basically two sort of chief rabbis in Israel. You've got the Ashkenazi chief rabbi, and you've got the Sephardic chief rabbi. And they say that Ashkenazim is sort of really the ones in power, but I don't see that on the. I mean, maybe that's at sort of the higher levels, but on the streets, that's not what I see or feel. It feels very much like that the Sephardim in power, and I imagine after a while there will be just one chief rabbi, and that'll be the Sephardic chief rabbi, and there won't be. I think Ashkenazim are also in danger of being extinct, but not yet. But it's going to be a few generations, maybe 100 to 200 years, but it's going to be eliminated. The Sephardics seem to be taking over the whole show. So anyway, that's the different types of minhag, and that word minhag is also there in Islam too. It's called manhaj. And if you're from an Islamic background listening to me, as I've got plenty of Muslims who are my subscribers, manhaj is the word which you can understand as minhag in Hebrew. Minhag is sort of a cultural tradition that you come from inside of Judaism. So we're talking about different types of Jews. So there are plenty of different types of Jews, and Christianity emerges from the Romaniote Minhag. I really want to encourage Christians to study the Romaniote Minhag, get involved in that and learn about that, because it's like, you got to know your origins, you've got to go back home, you've got to learn where you come from, And there's only about 2,000 people left in the Romaniote Minhag, and it's going to die out very soon unless Christians get a very deep interest in it, because, like I said, Sephardic culture is smothering everything.